What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and tonight is New Year's Eve, so hopefully everybody out there is having a fantastic yet safe New Year's Eve. And for the final beer review of 2019, I thought I would review yet another beer from the Boston Beer Company, aka Samuel Adams, and they are out of Boston, Massachusetts, and this is their Old Fezziwig Ale, the 2019 release. So I have seen this referenced as both a winter warmer and a spiced brown ale, but on the side here, it just says ale brewed with cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel. Comes in at 5.9% alcohol by volume, 25 IBUs, and at the time of review, this bottle is approximately 7 weeks old. So, full disclosure, I like this beer. I like this beer quite a bit, and that's because this was one of the first like winter warmer or like holiday beers that I ever had when I first got into craft beer, and it just has a soft spot in my heart, and it will always have a soft spot in my heart. I always feel this is like a marriage of like a gingerbread cookie and a fruitcake. Kind of has a little bit of each in it, and it's not overly sweet, but it has like the spice components you expect from beers like that. And guess what? I just enjoy it. So I haven't had this one in a couple years. I try to make a point of buying this one every year, but it's not sold in 6-packs. You got to buy the Winter Classics mix pack. And some years I just don't buy the Winter Classics mix pack. This year I did. And right now I would say this is the favorite for my favorite beer from the Winter Classics mix pack. But I don't know, if this was like a, if this was football betting odds, I would put this at about a -3 against the Chocolate Bock. This is the favorite, but we'll see if it holds on. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get into glass. I actually bought this one a couple years ago instead of the Winter Classics mix pack because I didn't want to buy it. I just didn't feel like it that year. And I bought this one in a 32-ounce growler and polished off the entire growler. And man, was I was super happy about that. Just was. So let's give it a proper pour here into the perfect pint glass. Hashtag proper glassware, the whole 9, blah, blah, blah. I always say it. So yeah, that has that really deep, like toffee, almost like mahogany, ruby red type of tinge to it. Lots of carbonation. It's probably not going to come off on camera, but this has the etching in the bottom. Pretty sure that promotes the carbonation. Has about a finger of this straight up tan colored head. Looks fantastic. Yeah, that looks like the beer I remember it being. So let's get a nose. Yeah, so this does not smell exactly how I remember it smelling. There's a lot of caramel, toffee, brown bread in this one. Toasted malt character, for sure. But that cinnamon, ginger, and orange peel not really coming to the forefront in the nose. I thought it would. I don't have this too cold. This has been out of the fridge for almost a half an hour now, so probably in like the 45, 50 degree range. We should be fine. Probably even 45. Probably, I think my fridge is like low 40, so probably closer to like 55. Yeah, it smells very malt driven, like very malt forward. Lots of caramel, toffee, brown bread. On the back here, they talk about like the character that inspired it. This beer is festive and worthy of a celebration all its own. Bursting with spices of the season, its full body accompanies a deep malt character with notes of sweet toffee and rich dark caramel. Well, I totally agree with the malt character for sure. Toffee, caramel. Basically, I didn't even read the back. I didn't even know there was a thing on it. I would have read it, but probably on all these Winter Classics beers, probably a little bit of a story time on the back. But I'm not getting any of those spices there. They're talking about like big, bold, vibrant spices. Not really. And like I said, this kind of used to remind me of like a gingerbread cookie meets a fruitcake. And it just smells like a big malty beer. But anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. See, the taste is where that gingerbread cookie kind of hits. Just going to be honest with you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, this is not as good as I remember it. And again, I haven't had it in a couple of years, but last time I had it, polished off that growler, I'm telling you, it was quite tasty. This one just doesn't seem to have the oomph that I recall this one having. Yes, for sure, toffee, caramel, toasted brown bread. That's the first thing that hits me up front. It's passed through the palate. I get hints of the cinnamon. I get hints of the orange peel. The ginger, not really. So it's very, like I said, malt driven, malt forward. It finishes with a little bit of residual sweetness, a slightly dry finish, and a low to moderate bitterness. Body in this one, they say full body. For me, it's another good 5.9% body, because when I drink 6% beers, more often than not, they're always a bit thin, or they're like higher side of light body, lower side medium. This is like medium body. So I will give credit to Sam Adams for a lot of these beers that I had in the Winter Classics mix pack. I think the bodies are quite impressive, especially considering the ABV. This is straight up medium body, 5.9%. I'm cool with that. The Mouthfeel Crisp, relatively clean, effervescent. It's very easy to drink, both from the body and mouthfeel perspective. It's very pleasant on the palate. Super easy to drink. I do enjoy the flavors here. I just remember this one being a bit more spice forward and just a bit more spicy in general. Again, this is my memory of it, is the gingerbread and fruitcake kind of marriage or hybrid or whatever you want to call it. And this one just is very malt forward. Lots of caramel, toffee, toasted brown bread, a little bit of like a chocolate kind of thing going on as well. I'm glad I'm reviewing this one. I'm a little bummed out it's not as good as I remember it being, or maybe this year a little bit batch variation compared to last year. I don't know. It could be my palate, could be where my palate is today even. I don't know. But I will say right now, before I even rate this, the Chocolate Bock was better. And I think I like the Holiday Porter more than this one. I might even like the Winter Lager's not better than this, but it's close as... listen, I don't know. As you can see, I'm kind of disappointed. It happens from time to time, but I just remember this beer being better than it is. But at the same time, I don't dislike this one. I still enjoy it. It's still a good beer. I just wish it had more spices. So, Old Fezziwig Ale, the 2019 release from Samuel Adams. Low 3.75 out of 5. I'm going 3.65 out of 5. Yeah, I gotta go 3.65 out of 5. I do. I have to. It's a beer that I love. This beer is typically in the higher 3.75 to 4 range for me, but I gotta knock it down. The spices just aren't popping. This is only 7 weeks old too, and I picked up this Winter Classic pack like a couple weeks ago. So I mean, and even so, again, I know it's 7 weeks ago because it has a a date on here, a Julian date that I figured out. Over here it says, freshness matters. Enjoy before a month notched. April of 2020 is the month notched. Listen, for me, if the spices are already falling off at not even 2 months old, I can't imagine drinking this one in April and thinking it's anywhere close to where it needs to be. So I'm disappointed in this beer. It happens. 3.65 out of 5 is not a terrible score, but this beer usually gets a quarter to maybe almost a half a point better typically when I drink this beer. So yeah, I don't know. 3.65 out of 5 for Old Fezziwig Ale 2019 from Sam Adams. Could be a lot of things. Could be, just like I said, batch variation. Could be my palate. Could be the mood I'm in today. Could be the one beer I had before this. Could be a lot of things. But that's what I'm drinking in my glass. It's disappointing at the same time. Whatever. So be it. It happens, right? Every beer review is not going to be perfect. So price and availability. Price on this one, I paid $16.49 for the 12-pack of the Winter Classics mix pack. Great value, so you're $1.35, $1.40 a bottle. That's fine. That's proper and awesome. The availability, wherever Sam Adams gets distribution, because I'm pretty sure the Winter Classics mix pack shows up everywhere, probably in all the states in the U.S., multiple countries. Yeah, if you see Sam Adams, you should probably see this one in the fall, winter time. So the last beer review of 2019. What a bummer. Honestly, what a bummer. Man. I always, like I said in the beginning of this one, I was like, oh man, I like this one a lot, full disclosure. I always enjoy it. Again, your palate does change. And this is a perfect example of a beer that I have bought and consumed over the years that I enjoy most years. And I can't remember a year having this beer that is as disappointing than this year's. It happened. Here we are. So yeah, anyway, if you've had this year's 2019, Old Fezziwig Ale, let me know what you think about it, because yeah, Chocolate Bock and the Holiday Porter were better than this one, and this one's slightly better than a Winter Lager, but I can't believe, I mean, I would say without question, the Chocolate Bock hands down was the best of the Winter Classic mix pack. I'm done reviewing all of the specialty holiday beers from the Winter Classics mix pack. I'm actually saving a bottle of the Boston Lager for a January shelfie beer review, so I will be reviewing that one. But like this, I won't make this super long, but man, you can see the pain in my eyes. I'm so disappointed. It's just beer. It's just beer. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. 5.9%, drinks like a 6% beer. Everything's fine from an ABV perspective. It's just, yeah, caramel toffee, toasted brown bread, a little bit of cinnamon. Anyway, hopefully 2020 is better. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. To the next one. Cheers.